Well, every single map can look to be close as we enter the penultimate best of 3 of the day here in our B stream action. The penultimate best of 3 of the B stream for the RMR itself. Let's get into it. The pistol round, Cloud9 starting things off on CT. Spirit opting to go into the defaults on the back foot and very passive at that.
Oh, we've seen some very good things from Axile and Shiro when it comes to the Vertigos. We think back to only the last couple of best of 3s where it came into the fold. Some strong T-sides from Cloud9 in that perspective. And now starting out onto the pistol with that CT basis. Axile with the Julies. The slow walk mid-contact coming through from Spirit.
The push is in ever so slowly. Siren will try and lead the charge. One of the guys I want to take a look at here for the Spirit cam. One of the 2 players to watch out for, perhaps. Patsy now take point at the head of the smoke's being put out. Nafani can't really see anything. Can hear a bunch of footsteps, and Shiro will be calling for backup alongside the crossfire of Hobbit in the backlines back towards Sandbags. Attention drawn as Shiro tries to act up close. Now has backup out towards the back of Snipers. There's Stefani. Goosh down, however, needs a kill and can't quite seem to do it. Now Hobbit is pressured, surrounded by T-side players, dealt with by Chopper. It's a 5-on-2, make it 1 for Spirit.
Now, this is an excellent pistol round coming through from Spirit. Very creative. It's not often that you see a mid to A split coming through from the T side. It's just not a strategy that you can see all that commonly. But they get the smoke down towards the left-hand side of City Spawn, get them through towards the elevators. They slow it down and then they turn up the tempo. They get in towards that City Spawn area, the sniper's nest. You then have a backstabbing individual coming up to the top of ramp. And while Cloud9 had a lot of information and was able to fall back away from those duels, they weren't able to pick it up at all. Spirit overwhelming A in that round.
A fantastic start for them. Cloud9, of course, forcing the buyback into the second. The upgrade pistols will come in. The SMG for Shiro also be in effect. A far cry from what Spirit are bringing to the table here. 4 rifles, sparing no expense.
You've got to imagine that for Spirit, bringing a lot of pace in towards the ramp control could be something into the second round. You've got Siren towards the top of the ramp, Sandbags already. There could be a fight from Ali, however.
Indeed, there is a decent engagement on Patsy, but Patsy gets the kill to open things up anyway. Hobbit CZ thinking of sneaking forward. He'll just sit back behind the smoke and eventually take the peek. I think he might have been giving up some footsteps there that Siren adjusts towards. And Spirit will back off.
It leaves Siren and Wonderful to play the crossfire in case there's any further over-aggressive approaches coming through from Cloud9. The Spirit trying to double pump their way back into this ramp control. Still plenty of nades for them to work with and time on the clock.
Very good HE on Patsy, but not quite picking him up. 8 points of health down from like 16 or 20 or so. Flash is coming over as Chopper tries to make his way around with a MAC-10. Bomb plant can be denied here by virtue of just the blindness of the spray. It was tapped though. Spirit have lots of time. Second one will be the stick. Cloud9 will be in for the retake. Or just a save.
Nah, mate. Yeah, save call quickly. Nothing presented itself there at all. You could see Spirit were not aggressing through those smokes, so there's no counteraction to force it into a 4v4, so you opt onto the hard save, bring those weapons into the next round. And from Cloud9's point of view, it's been 500 days since these teams last played one another. Spirit still had Mir, SDY, and Dexter on the lineup. Cloud9's exactly the same with the full 5. And Spirit were absolutely pumped in that best of 3. 16-6 and 16-2 on Dust2 and Train, respectively. That really shows how long ago it was.
I miss Train. I really miss Train. Start for Spirit goes on to the second in a row. Cloud9 have saved their weapons in Kevlar, which means the next round, whilst it will be no investment, will still have the basis of some sort of like force buy. So we call it the bonus force in that sense, because it does mean that you have some potential in this round, a bit of extra firepower to do some damage, go into the rifles as confidently as well. If you can take guns away from Spirit, then that would be all positive for Cloud9.
Got to imagine here for Spirit, they're going to know that they're still up against a strong buy, so making sure that they keep a lot of players alive, don't take too many casualties at all. You wonder if there's going to be something a little bit more gamble heavy. You can see Cloud9 stacked up the B site quite a bit in that last round. And now coming through, Shiro aggressive towards the top of the ramp, wants to try and get as much impact out of this MP9 as possible.
It's placed up on the ramp control, expecting Spirit to force forward again. They did that in the previous round much earlier than they're doing right now. Only Patsy up at the corner is the most forward player from the Spirit squad. Has seen the jump face of that SMG. Shiro only gathering bits of information. Forced off by the spray. The nade to follow suit as well. He has escaped the ire of that damage alongside Nafani here.
Flash up. Patsy now starting to make a little bit of noise with his teammates. Put the smoke down to the incendiary and keep that pressure on. Maintain that top of crane position as well as up to Ali. And Cloud9 have got 3 towards A as of right now on a crossfire.
SMG just going for the swing. Shiro tries to prod. Patsy pops out and does look for contact. Not quite finding kills. There's actually very little damage being done. Like a few points on Wonderful and Patsy, and that's basically it for the time being. Time has been stalled pretty effectively by Cloud9. Spirit are going to have to make a quick rush in and try to be flawless about it. Any good kills with this SMG still sticking around now has been dealt with, so that means Cloud9 have lost the advantage. Hobbit will also drop Chopper in with another Mach 10 kill, and Nafani will not last long with that USP without Kevlar and all. 5-7's at least in for one pick, but that might be about as much as they get.
It's going to try and see if he can walk around the smoke, try and pull some distraction from his teammate of Axar, but now out in the open, might be able to get away with one kill, but that should be it. Siren actually comes through with 3, and I like the patience there for Spirit. They obviously showed quite a lot of ramp control with the util and the footsteps, but they slow it down and they wait for the reaction, they wait for the response, and Shiro just gets ever so slightly aggressive with that MP9 to the alley entrance, and that's the entry. That's that Mach 10 dropping the first player, getting those cross smokes down. And for Spirit, they are starting to muster up a very good economy float in these first 3 rounds.
All 5 players alive in the previous one. Of course, 4 players alive in the 1-4. So a lot of cash built up by virtue of not having to invest heavy. Yes, Patsy is the exception to the rule, but the money line does mean a buyback from Spirit can come through if Cloud9 take this one. Can play out the bonus with the Galils on 2, SMG still for Chopper. The M4's out in full force with Cloud9 bringing the AWP out for Shiro early.
Now, Patsy has very much been impressive when it comes to the Vertigo officials in recent times. Always being that thorn in the side on the T side when it comes to the bottom of ramp control, punishing over-aggressive peaks. Nafani just putting up the ramp sandbag as a lurk, try and see if they can bait out some further information. Now, they've left Hobbit quite aggressive towards the railing, but other than that, it's not much of a press towards ramp.
Even then, he falls back to the sandbag, so not really much aggression at all from Cloud9. Can pull Spirit forward. Especially with a delayed, staggered attempt. Smokes are coming down with flashes and all. Now Hobbit will take the potential peek. Trying to look above that smoke scene. The Molotov's going to evade that body block and catch off Wonderful. Can't escape in time, though. They're so close to his line.
You can start seeing the rotations come over as well. Shiro with that orb. Inter's starting to walk further forward. And Cloud9 are just trying to hold Nafani here.
Patsy up to the corner. The M4 backs away, sees the smokes coming down, evading any flashes. None of them are going to be thrown out here. Turning out towards the ramp control, though. Patsy might have an angle to play with the AWP. Caught off, forced away. The shot missed out, and Nafani's going to fall. So advantage for Spirit once again, 15 seconds. As Shiro's caught on the boost up for Magics, and that'll be another safe call in for Cloud9. Spirit 4-0 on this start here. Not being dealt with as effectively as you'd like to see.
It's very positive from Spirit, and I think they're just keeping it very basic as well. We're not seeing too many mid-walks, we're not seeing contact out to the B stairs. It's just take the ramp control, slow it down, get those cross smokes forward, and catch timings. You can see how many individuals around Ali and Yellow have been caught there from Cloud9. That's another round when Afani's out into the open, you've got Spirit just chasing him down, and then you've even got a slight vertical advantage on top of the railing to the right-hand side of the site to deal with that orb. Hobbit falls too with only getting a single kill. 4-0. I'm liking what I'm seeing here from Spirit.
It's a real solid T-side. Cloud9 may or may not be in trouble here. It is generally a bit more of a T-sided map for both teams. This start can get a little bit out of control if they can't deal with it relatively soon. Have got plenty of rounds to try and do so. Money's not stabilizing for many buys here for Cloud9. A hero M4 around what was saved in the previous upgrade pistols and otherwise half buy. Wonderful set and ready to receive in ramp.
You think back to that one-win series of the 16-12 on Vertigo. We saw a 12-3 CT half from Cloud9.
Yeah.
A very different outcome this time around. Dual crossfire out in mid, this time very aggressive from Cloud9.
Posted up to receive. Flash is going over. Siren and Chopper moving in. Siren down. 5-on-4 for Cloud9. Chopper, shoulder bait was spotted. Inter's going to back off. Ashiro sticks around. Chopper forces forward and loses his life. That's a bit better from these M4s. The limited buy might still work out as the 5-7 gets involved against Patsy. That's a 3-for-1 for the CT favor.
And it's very clever what Cloud9 did there. You take the first contact on the widened individual, make some noise, get the bait that he's moving away, and that just sets up that next M4 in line of Shiro. You've got the IGL, Nafani getting down aggressive, doing work with that 5-7, and now this entire round is shaping up for an absolute steal here for Cloud9.
CZ just waiting to receive double nades into the sandbags. A quick will react off the back of that. They're back to turn. Perfect chance. He only gets a kill for it. The Magic's the last man standing, and Shiro does catch him on the timing. Magic's going to drop towards it anyway. The last two CT players with M4s of their own now posted in the retake positions. May force forward if Magic goes for an open and plant. He's going to go hunting for the kills themselves. Might have to do so given the circumstances. 20 seconds. Just loses his life to Inters on the first phase. So there's that first round for Cloud9. A bit of a steal there.
There was a good call there from Magix to not get the bomb down. He realizes we're 4-0 up. We've got plenty of money. At least if I start pulling some more attention forward, I've got more of a chance of winning that round. Try to do economical damage. So he leans out in front of that elevator's position. It doesn't quite happen, but from Cloud9's point of view, you've got 3 M4s, a couple of upgraded pistols. They will be very happy with how that's come through. A round victory, 2 alive, and Spirit losing their first round.
Finally the start for Cloud9 that I wanted to see. Now the way into this matchup from here. It's not going to be easy, of course, but they have got the full guns out. They've received against the full buy of the Spirit side. Mid been left completely open. Chopper's out to walk in towards that B side. Get the kill. Axel able to respond only for a moment being. Backs a turn still. Siren didn't account for the player on the center of the B side. Axel needs backup, but he's bought a 3-on-3 situation.
Oh, I can't believe that HE hasn't got him. After all the information, you thought that dunk was going to be enough. And now Shiro gets aggressive towards the top of ramp to try and pull an advantage elsewhere. Towards ramp this time.
Patsy shoulder baiting, but loses his life anyway. Got the dink on Shiro. But that wasn't enough for the frag itself. Wonderful and Magic now forced to slow things down. Still have time to play with a minute on the clock. But Cloud9 have taken full control, it seems. Hobbit now going to extend down the ramp and wait ahead of Tarps.
The Spirit might not expect this close range angle with the man advantage. Magic's out into the open. Wonderful. Last one left with this AWP. The jiggle peek is good from Hobbit. Baits out the orb and allows the second round to come through from Cloud9. Spirit have got to be frustrated there. That was a great walk forward from Chopper and co. You could see the way they exploit the map presence. They get up towards Guardian, try and split down towards City Spawn. They do a lot of damage. They have a massive amount of intent towards B. The only problem is they don't drop Axel. And because he stays alive, there's no way that they can crunch down on B and get a bomb down. Instead, they have to work the round default.
Now they've got to work against the force buy here. Frustration's going to mount for Spirit. Not as much frustrations for K23, who just got eliminated over on the mainstream, by the way, to the hands of Big. So that was a 19-15 at the back 3.
Jeez, that is close.
It's a hard-fought series, but they are out. Big are through to the major. Nafani getting Patsy. Going to start off this round well for Cloud9 for here. Magic's AK behind the banger position. You're waiting for Axel to pop his head out and himself. Seen and sprayed. There's a frag back alongside Inters of the Crossfire, and Team Spirit now have been completely dismantled.
And now you can start feeling that tempo shift in the entire first half. It was a 4-0 start. It was very cruisy for Spirit. They've got money under their backs, and now Cloud9 are putting the hurt on. This has been a very one-sided round. A lot of players staying alive. You got Hobbit aggressing in from mid, so that's already the tell. Yeah, they're saving.
Get out of there. Disallow any chance for the CTs to grab those AKs if possible. Of course, Axel's already got one. Maybe Chopper might be overextending here. HP advantage against Stefani. Checks it and does adjust to the headshot. So maybe it's not a safe call after all. They're rushing their way back up to the A site, and Shiro hears both these footsteps, so backup's on the way. See the smoke's coming down. No flashes against him. Molotov's also being sent up and over towards Ali. Wonderful. Had to make his way in. Cloud9 might give up the bomb plot and go for the retake here.
They've got an incendiary for Shiro that could do some damage down, set themselves up, Chopper from the sandbags, back to try and deliver.
And there's Inters out towards the center of the site. Chopper does get that one frag, but now he stands alone for the ace here, watching the backstab. But should be aware that both players are on the site right now. Shiro tapping, Axel. Defuse kit on him. Also has that smoke to utilize, which will put down on the bomb right here. Second one also coming out from Shiro's position on the defuse. He'll tap it. Spray, not going to come through. Chopper's called their bluff. That might be information baiting. Tapped again, this time being stuck. Spray back and forth, and Axel through the smoke will shut him down. Good reads on exactly where he was, and that'll be a third round for Cloud9.
That was an excellent effort there from Spirit, because that did not look like anything was going to get presented. You got a 2v5 in that stance, you got no map control at all. It's been a rollover towards the defense out there over at the B side, and instead some over-aggressive approaches there from Cloud9. Hobbit leaning all the way forward towards the generator in mid. You've got Nafani going down to the forklift at the bottom of ramp, so more expensive than it needed to be for Cloud9, but the job still gets done. And first tactical coming through from Spirit. Want to try and see if they can bounce back after doing that economical damage. The only problem for them, they don't have enough money for a buy together. It have to be a half.
First tactical called in by Spirit. Right time to do so. Cloud9 were looking a little bit concerning when they were down 0-4, but they've turned that whole situation on its head. Spirit up to the half bite. The CTs will look to equalize here. Tech9's on 4, Deagle on for wonderful half invest with lacking helmets on 4 players. HG's at the ready to potentially try and put some damage down on a common pre-fire or pre-nade position. Out towards the ramp default where the firing nades will be ineffective for the time being. Might have to stand and fart on his lonesome here. Black is in, he's blind. Patsy detected, does get the kill anyway. The AWP barely sees anything ahead of the smoke plumes, and now Wonderful's Deagle has reduced Cloud9 to 3.
Hobbit has to try and fight back, try and drop some of these T-side players. They swing together, and the trades are even better here for Spirit.
4-on-2 situation. Axel trying to lean forwards. Try to catch a trade, but now there's an M4 in T-side hands. Axel has no idea. Got to get this headshot. He doesn't do it. Enters now, stands alone. Back at the site. Versus 4. This should be Spirit up to 5.
Got to imagine so. And you can even see there for Cloud9, they lose that first player in Nafani very quickly towards the ramp control. Shura didn't need to over-peak there. Maybe had the idea that there could have been a molly, so doesn't want to be forced out into the open. But if he just would have held back at the sandbags and got some distraction pulled from the rotating players, they could have at least established something. Instead, both Shiro and Nafani give up individual 1v1s and lose both of the fights.
Inter's forced to save. Money's looking a little bit lopsided for Cloud9. I imagine they'll force buy here, right?
Yeah, they'll buy. They'll definitely buy here. They've got plenty of cash. There's not even really a force.
Concern will be Axile, but drop weapons probably come out from him, I'd imagine. Single stage loss bonus, so... does leave concerns for the following round. Other than that, they should be pretty okay. Shura can afford the AWP if he wants to as well. So yeah, right about that. And here come the guns back from the Cloud9 side. Spirit, however, can be celebrating. That was a half investment round. Not a whole lot of cash being delved into in the grand scale of things. So as they recover weapons, break out the weapon buys of their own, the AWP for Wonderful here can respond in kind.
Both teams could say, okay, we're even now. We saw Cloud9 getting a bit of a steal only a few rounds ago to get there first. Spirit have now done the same. It's whether that continues over the course of the series. Magic's putting some early nades down towards the B stairs. Shiro going for the crane pick. Ends up falling off the angle.
Nice HE and a better follow-up through the smoke spray of Chopper. Kill found on Afani. But that's about it here. Nothing more being gained. Hobbit trying to lean forward. Will he catch Patsy? He might just do so. He gives this smoke. He starts to fade. Man's been seen, but the trade from Chopper is so quick.
Chopper's doing fantastically with some of these entry frags towards ramp, and now even getting the support at the B stairs. Wonderful being baited further back, waiting for an over-aggressive approach from Shiro, and Spirit are starting to turn into their own.
At least Inters gets another exit, but it's another save call for him. Quick playing towards the A site with that player falling. Of course, Spirit know that this is going to be completely undefended, and there'll be no retake for Inters right here. This will be the reset possibilities for the economy state. Again, had a double eco status coming into this round, so 1,900 bucks in the bank. It shouldn't be a major investment around the M4. It might just be a hero M4 around the rest of the Brainslay pistols, really. You're right about Chopper. He's been doing fantastic so far. 10 kills in this game so far. Has been the main entry man here for Spirit.
Well, let's just compare the IGLs for a moment. You've got Chopper on the side of Spirit and Nafani on the side of Cloud9. When it comes to the impact, we're seeing Chopper find a lot of success ramp, whereas for Nafani, he's actually losing a lot of opening man advantages. Anytime he's got aggressive in the tops towards the top of the ramp, he's been punished. 2 kills up against 10. Chopper leading by example. And we know that this is a guy that, again, has going to his 7th major, one of the most experienced players that we have in server. Nearly 300 maps played on LAN. Been a part of the Spirit team for coming up to 3.5 years now. One of the true OGs.
When you want to talk about a team that, of course, bringing in newer elements, younger guys, and lesser experienced players, you want an experienced hand like Chopper to get involved in this.
Well, I remember. Do you remember the Vegas at some of the majors? We had Hutchie in there, the Mac-10s. What was that?
Was Chopper the part of the lineup that upset an IP that one year?
Yes, he was with Kashanda, Haji, yeah. So there was a few of those guys. That was the 16-2 on Cash. I remember that.
Must have been like what, 4 years ago now?
I think it was Boston 2018.
I can't remember if it was Atlanta or Boston, but it was one of those two. And Chopper's got history. Cloud9 know that. They know what they're up against in the leader's position. And now he's making it work on this particular stage. Spirit, quick B execution, pop out to try and force the pressure onto Axel. Lone hold up with a Deagle alone. Can't do much with it, unfortunately. He's got no backup. Swung upon, does get a tag on Magic, but Magic gets a lot more damage in return. Axel backs off. His teammates might join him for a quick play-in. They have got a buy in the next round, but the first man has fallen, and there's no breathing room for Cloud9.
If they put some pressure down onto the Hunt, try and see if they can drop that M4, that could try and damage the economy flow even harder here for Cloud9. Trying to see if they could just set themselves up for exit frags.
On the full. Expecting a boost of some kind. Chopper gets Hobbit up close and personal. Now down to 3 individuals. Thrown as Magic gets his engagement. Siren follows suit on Shiro and enters as the last man left in a 1-on-5 scenario. Got a save for like the 4th round in a row or so. 7-3 for Spirit, as they are in full control once again.
Well, one thing that we do need to keep in mind is that Spirit are ranked 2nd in RMR on the T side for the highest round win percentage of 52.1. So that doesn't seem like a massive percentage, but when you compare all 16 teams that we've had at the RMR, they're right at the top, always leading and getting strong halves on their T sides.
One more round on this T side will give them the strong half that they desire. 8-3. That's what we're playing for here for Spirit. Cloud9 trying to put a stop to that and usurp them in a mini comeback. I'd say they have been outclassed so far on this first half is probably saying the least at this particular moment. Mafani's already been tagged low. Axel's forced away from his beam contact. Spirit again with a start.
Well, Cloud9 have got to figure out a hypothesis on how they need to change the ramp control, because that's where Spirit have been doing the majority of the damage, is the ramp default. Gaining control, allowing opening picks onto Nafani, and then forcing baiting overreactions. You can see the continuous spam going up towards the target's position. As of right now, Spirit aren't that keen on pressing through the smoke.
But to wait this one out, go for the late hits, which they've done in the past and done with great success. Smoke's on. Press headshot position so Magic as he put further utility out towards the left side of the B side, but all players are held out deep in the right. Meanwhile, the ramp aggression starts to come through. 4 players on this default. Shiro stands with backup, and Nafani's been tagged at this one, and they might feel a lot of pressure with the execution.
Shiro just begging to see if he can find some impact, some more noise being made from Chopper on the drop down. Everyone regrouped right now for Spirit.
Nice incendiary, forces Patsy back. Stalling for time, second incendiary comes down a little bit closer to the ramp defaults, which might force them even further forward on ramp itself. Counter Molotov back against Shiro. He'll burn and fall away. 22 seconds. They're going to make their move in. Gaps no smokes to abuse. Flash turn away from Hobbit. Sees Patsy's feet. Gets his kill. Could line up a double, a triple, maybe even the quadra. The USP's pulled out into stole one of those picks. And Shiro on the other side of the site will put Chopper in his place. Magic's in a 1-on-4. No time to get the plant. No time to get the clutch. It's a 4th round for Cloud9.
So you can see that Spirit weren't baiting enough nades from the CT side there of Cloud9 directly on the bomb side. And what it comes down to is that crane smoke. You mentioned that there was a slight little gap underneath. That's a one-way smoke from the CT perspective. You can throw it back from orange. It lands right on the crane. And anyone coming up from ramp is going to get seen, and the Ts cannot see a thing. So a lot of the time, if you see that smoke, you want to cancel. You want to slow it down. You want to wait out the smoke. But what can you do? When that smoke goes down to crane and there's 20 seconds on the clock, you've got to go. You've got no option.
Forced into the panic. But those late executions might want to be avoided in the near future here for Spirit. Caused them to lose that one, and Cloud9 punished them so heavily. So no half gained yet for the T's. They have more chances though, plenty of them still left in this half. Buyback's going to lack the AWP though. AK's across the entire T-board.
Yeah, Cloud9 had to come back from 3-11 down against 1 win on Overpass. They ended up closing out the map and the series 16-13 to qualify for the major. So we've seen Cloud9 in these positions of slow starts where they have to be forced on the back foot.
Just caused some problems in the Tier 1 environment. We mentioned that during the 1-win matchup. This is going to be proof in the pudding if it really is going to be a major concern for Cloud9. 3 rounds to the good. There is a comeback here in this first half. They started it, but Magix wants to put it down immediately. Intercept, put it down. Axile and Nafani are next to challenge on their respective defaults. Nafani is the casualty, though. 5-on-3. Shiro trying to trade. Sees Patsy. Indeed goes get one back, and Axile responds. 3-on-3 scenario.
Nicely done there from Cloud9. The prods forward to make it uncomfortable. Magic's applying the pressure down there from the bottom of the B stairs. Hobbit could get caught at a timing as Siren starts to walk out mid.
60 seconds. Continues pressing in. Axile's got it covered. He's adjusted back to the site defensive. Got to play double duty to what could potentially be a mid-play. And indeed, he catches Siren, but Siren gets the casualty. Hobbit with a return frag incident on the trade. Bomb going to try commit to the site, or is it? He was thinking of the rotate, making some noise to try and pull attention from Hobbit away. Shiro stands alone on the back of the A site, but he's watching Ali. Will Wonderful commit there?
You'd imagine so. Even Chopper's got a HE, so as soon as they have the information of Shiro, that can go down.
Shot connects to the crack angle. Now Chopper stands alone, picks up that bomb very quickly. That will be info gained by the CT side, and Hobbit is so quick to get back here. Chopper trying to challenge, making no noise, seeing the shoulder, but Shiro seen him first. Hobbit down. Shoulder continue to get spotted. Shiro is now just stalling for time. Nades out, forcing him into the open. Swing for Chopper, looking for his 13th frag, trying to bait in the AWP to make a mistake. He's seen him now, but leg down. Headshot, looks to get game with that spray, and he holds it together for Spirit's 8th.
Oh, Chopper is standing up, and listen to this, Jay. He is the lowest rated player for Spirit on Vertigo, and right now he is stepping up with a masterclass. Another sick round for the in-game leader, a 1v2 clutch. He's up to 13 frags now.
If he's the lowest rated player, I want to see what the rest of Spirit are made of when they get up to position. Get in for the half. What a round from Chopper. Having a lights-out game right now. Wonderful. Set with Yorp to watch for more. Nafani backing away. Incendiaries set down with the HEs. Damage done to Patsy, and Wonderful to start things off. But again, it's back to these slow defaults. A slow walk-up ramp.
Try and work those contacts and the timings. That's where they've been so successful. Nafani getting quickly back out to the alley entrance. Patsy is expecting some aggression down from the bottom of Tarps.
Vertical crossfire, meanwhile in mid, expecting there to be some aggression from Spirit. They've abused it several different times. They're finally taking a risky face. Shiro gets tagged in that exchange out towards Sandbag. He might be in trouble. Utility's being thrown, and Nafani does fall to Wonderful. That's a good start.
And we've seen a lot of responses from Wonderful towards the bottom of ramp. Not him being aggressive, but just posted on the line. And that's another duel onto Nafani again. That has been a massive weakness here towards ramp, consistently being exploited from Spirit.
Patsy trying to walk forward. Did he see Shiro? I can't quite tell from there. Don't think he did. But adjusting left and right and hoping that he can find the pre-fire at the right moments. Meanwhile, Hobbit leans into the backstab. As the B site execution looks to be cut down by the man in ladder. Chopper checks it, and he gets his kill as well. How is he winning these fights? The CT's had the jump on him, but that position might turn it back to the B play.
I was going to ask you that, Jay. I don't know how that has happened. There should be no way in which Chopper wins that out. And now for Cloud9, you've got more of a heavy stack out to the A side. Axile's going to have to multi-frag like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, Inters was on the back of the B site initially. He's gone towards A, and now will counter-rotate with the execution inbound. Axile stands his ground, 6 seconds. Time's running short. He's lined up a triple, and that'll be enough. Spirit don't have time to plant the bomb as Cloud9 steal one back by the timer.
Axile with that X factor, with the discipline to not rotate off of B, and you could feel there for Spirit, they got that frag back in towards the under connector position towards bridge. They probably needed to act then, straight away, get into the B site quickly. Instead, they slow it down, they keep it silent, and while that's great on forcing an over-rotation towards A, you have to look at the clock, and because that trade is not instant, because they're not able to drop Axile, that's the round finished.
Still make it 7, Cloud9. Won't be the half victory, but they might not need it though. Nafani tagged up initially, dealt with by Chopper through that smoke. Slight gap at the left-hand side of it, in fact. There's the start, 5 on 4. Gaps for the CTs to abuse as well. Shiro, does he see Patsy? Barely does, gets the kill anyway.
A fair amount of damage going down to Shiro's position, and this time around there's not even a B-lurk coming through from Spirit. They've got a lot of emphasis towards the bottom of ramp right now, and Shiro's thinking about double dipping.
Wonderful Zorp looking up. Holding and waiting and expecting positions. In the end, the CTs will back away. Spirit, happy to play slow again, happy to play quiet again. We'll have free reign of ramp control when they start to walk up.
Well, they know that Nafani's normally always playing around that alley position, so the fact that they've dropped him, they can expect themselves for no one to be holding aggressively. Siren trying to clear out any of the boost towards yellow. You've got Hobbit on a boost up behind the railing. 2 players on A to crossfire off one another.
Smokes up, engagement from Magic's caps Hobbit napping. At least Inters can trade it. A lot of damage being done to him. Chopper, similar story, but there's a second player also tagged on the Cloud9 side. Chopper falls forward, flash in for Inter to take the swing, doing damage again to Siren, but the kills are going the way of Spirit, and that might be what makes the difference here. Axel blind spraying Shiro, native to 2 HP, so now it's all on him to make another massive hold happen. Can't seem to find much here. Cloud9 getting very little in this retake. They're going to save.
Axel trying to see if he can fall back. They kind of hang into it for a moment, and now they might actually go for this.
Oh, that nade on Shiro, though, might throw it off. Axel, too tentative. Sticking around for the exit frags. Not quite the retake, though. Backed off towards Sniper's Nest. This will be around for Spirit. 9-5 to their 4. Axel caught looking the wrong way. But we'll be able to get away at least. Buy up is going to be very dire for Cloud9 in the last of the half. So it's a good thing this M4 is in.
It's a shame that they couldn't even get to the AWP either. And gets themselves in a position where the best that you can hope for is that M4A1S. And Spirit are looking incredibly drilled. Now, you have to consider the fact that Vertigo is not a map that gets played very often for them. It's not a map that they pick in best of 3s. It's sometimes a decider, and that's where we've seen it in previous officials. Cloud9, one of their best maps in the pool, is not going well in the first half on their CT basis.
Looking a little bit dire for this opening half. Patsy is at least the first casualty. Wonderful with York trade. Siren finds Hobbit as well. 4 on 3. Spirit have control.
And now they can slow it down. The idea that you've already got a man advantage with 20 seconds started in the round, you've got plenty of time to slow it down, to bait in a further mistake. And for Cloud9, I can see a gamble stack towards A.
Flash in, York watching nades. Dishing out some damage. Not a major amount, though. 4 on 3 still for Spirit. Cloud9 are looking for any advantage they can get here.
You could just see Spirit, these last few rounds, not even indicating presence in mid or the B stairs. It's just ramp, 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 over and over and over again. And still, it's working out for them.
In this case, ramp is the only place that they're at, so Cloud9 have gone for the right stack at the right place. 2 nades in, Intis 5-7 up close. Perhaps received and headshot on Magic. Some wonderful gets caught. Both double up to a 2 on 2. Now the chance for Shiro and Axel has been bought. One player making noise, Axel staying silent and hidden. Spirit slow it down again.
Chopper waiting to see if he can force out a mistake. 30-odd seconds left on the clock. Axel's aggressive. Shiro's got to try and set up the crossfire from Orange.
Where is Axel? That's what Chopper's wondering. Not going for the common wallbang positions. The sprays will not come forward for Spirit. Have to commit. Are they backing away? I think Shiro might believe. No, he's got the bomb now. Axel turns his attention towards Ali, and he will get the final kill of the half. 9-6 favor of Spirit, but Cloud9 could have had it much worse.
Very impressive performance coming through from Spirit, and I imagine after this break, Jay, we might see that continuing.
Spirit lead the charge, 9-6 up off the back of their T sign. It was all on the CT side for Cloud9 in previous map ups. Is that going to lead to a map steal for Spirit here now, Alec?
You'd imagine that it's on the cards. This is a very good showing coming through from Spirit. And when you look at the idea that it's only 1 win and 1 loss in the last 3 months, you have to look back at this entire year to get a full picture. 7 wins and only 4 losses. This is a map historically that Spirit have put a lot of good performances on.
Cloud9 are going to need to step up their own performance right here and now. T side, again, statistically can be favored by this team. Let's see whether that will apply here in the pistol. Molotov's being sent on the ramp default, so a lot of ramp control from Spirit over on their T side. So Cloud9 taking a page out of their own book. Flashes against the smokes for the quick A here. They have got tags up from Wonderful behind those smokes, but nothing that'll make a definitive difference.
You can see the way that Spirit are just going to regroup off one another, try and see if they can get a smoke down towards Crane, get a couple of flashes high over the top.
Waiting for their chance to move in. Smoke set, Nafani gonna wait here. They can't headshots gain. He's caught blinded entirely though. Kills from Axar, come up with a double, maybe even the triple. That's exactly what he gains. Chopper now stands alone for the clutch, for the retake. No chance of this one. Pistol for Cloud9.
What a sequence coming through from Axel, and this is definitely a player to highlight when it comes to not only Cloud9, but this entire series. The idea that he's the 7th highest rated player in the entire RMR teams. He's going to be a lethal entity to be dealt with, and while it was a slow first half from him, right there on the pistol, you could see that immediate control from that alley entrance, just multi-fragging like a madman.
Brilliant stuff. For Spirit, it's an early setback for them in this second half. Again, Cloud9 need to make this one work out for them. It is their map pick. 5-7s on 3, Digo and SMG. Of course, Cloud9, a few more SMGs than what Spirit brought out in their conversion to the T side. Siren at least gets that first shot off on Hobbit. That's the Galil down to 55.
You can see the way that Siren's still trying to keep the presence quite high tempo, rather than just falling back and giving that respect forward for Cloud9 on the default. Instead, trying to make sure that they have to work hard to take the space to start pressing their way forward. Now, you've got a boost up towards yellow. We didn't see Cloud9 doing that at all in the first half.
Whether it can make the difference for Spirit here. Patsy's a little bit off kilter. Nafani will spray through, do the damage. The wall bangs don't connect. Not quite a kill just yet. Patsy had head Kevlar, so that will evade the Mach 10 spray's kill. Needs to follow suit on Wonderful. Next, he's going to get tagged up. Chipping away at the HP bars. Patsy's going to be the main concern. The smokes will start to come down as Nafani leans in. Tries to hunt for the picks. Chopper caught. Gets that kill anyway. Looks for into the double up. 5 on 3. Spirit have dropped the bomb. Cloud9 might be in trouble with Hobbit picked up. Shiro got that 1 frag, but that's a 1 for 3. That favors Spirit most heavily here. 20 seconds and all. Cloud9 only just barely getting away with these picks back.
Oh, this is just getting manic. They've got to keep fighting to even get the bomb control, and with Spirit 3 still on A, they can establish the crossfire even further.
10 seconds, Axel's going to get this kill on Wonderful. Sees the shadow, Wonderful gets the pick, and Magix has his back. What a steal for Spirits.
Mate, what is going on in that round? You got to consider the basis that Cloud9 slow walked on the contact up towards ramp, spotted Patsy, dropped him, got the opening man advantage. HP numbers were low. It felt as if every advantage in the world was there for Cloud9 with that set Exy to get the bomb down, to play out the round, for it to be theirs. And instead, these pistols just come out of nowhere and it gets started with the big man. It's Chopper again.
18 kills deep. He has not slowed down. Half invest for Cloud9. Well, force invest really, but only bringing out the upgrade pistols. Incendiary won't extend to Nafani. Makes his way out. Patsy had his crosshair trained to get that kill. Wonderful with the crossfire. Does get overwhelmed. That's something back for Cloud9, but just look at the HP bars and look at the kills.
You can see the way of the protocol here for Spirit. They want to keep the pressure on. Chopper's going to get a slow walk aggressive towards the top of ramp. Bomb gets dropped. That's the round finish. Shiro's got nothing that he can do here.
No such steal for Cloud9 this time. It's that 2 for 1 on Eco and Force by steals now that favors the Spirit camp. Looking real good right now on the CT side. Cloud9. Harsh Eco inbound. This will be 12-7 for Spirit, surely.
Gotta imagine so. And does this continue the debate and the conversation that CIS derbies can be wild, Jay? Because We're looking on Vertigo.
Hang on.
Yeah,
debate? It was a debate that these matches are wild?
No,
Like, I thought that was
it
a given.
wasn't a debate. Yeah, you might be right, actually. Maybe just a conversation, just to add to it a little bit more.
No one's contesting it at this moment. Spirit certainly making his match look as wild as we thought it would be. Glocks pulled out against the majority of T-side players. 1 P250 for Nafani, who's already been tagged to half HP by the nade. And if you're Cloud9, what hope are you looking at here in round 19?
Oh, no hope. No hope in this round. All the hope is going to be in round 20. The best that you can try and achieve is force a very overextension to drop a player here or there. But Spirit know better than that. They know that they can hang back. They could get the MP9 aggressive, but that's only to farm up money.
With the MP7, going to get plenty of cash out of this. Patsy there with 2 of his own. Makes it a triple. Effective shutdown for the 5-round lead that Spirit now have against Cloud9. Gun buys should be afforded by the T's here. See them typing away, getting their setup together. I'm surprised they haven't taken another tactical at this moment because Spirit are starting to run away with this.
It's only a few more rounds until the job can get done. We don't see a massive amount of MP7 action. I remember seeing some of it yesterday with Nico Odos on the Fnatic side, but it's not a weapon you see in the hands all that often. Instead, the MP9's normally always the one. The Siren, always the one to try and keep the aggression forward. Out here towards mid, still jiggling on the angle, desperate for this opening pick onto Inters.
Siren's got his eyes set. Ready and waiting with the M4 and mid control. Inters trying to see if he can react towards the man. Engagement does damage to return to the CT side. Nothing done to the engagement of Cloud9. Fani has been tagged. So that's something back towards ramp.
And we have to keep note that there's no incendiary. So how are they going to force Chopper out to the open? This could be a really good bait from his default player to force them into B, because without that molly, they're going to have a super difficult time of getting Chopper to swing out wide.
Well, right now it's Magic's taking the brunt of the defensive. He held himself together in that headshot position, got a dink off on Axile on the boost. So now both him and Nafani are low, so the HP bars tip the favor of Spirit for the time being, and they suppress the execution with the smokes.
That re-smoke going down just wastes some further time. You can see the way that Cloud9 are trying to react with that, with a slow walk, more pressure being applied towards mid, and we're actually seeing a little bit of an over-rotation. You've got Magic's going back towards A right now.
Chopper playing double duty in mid and the B side. Back passive here in the footsteps, engaging Inters, transfers to Hobbit. 5-on-3 found. Reload in to get a few more bullets in the mag to try hold off against the main T-side force, who are all inbound from the stairs as the CTs are inbound from the back lines. Chopper dealt with on 1. Patsy and Siren, quick trades. It's all Axile, 11 HP to hold it. Couldn't do anything in that exchange.
Fair play to Chopper. He is playing like a star player right now. He has put up so much consistent hurt onto the side of Cloud9. And even consider that round. The idea that they re-smoked the top of the B stairs, they had to on B, Magic starts rotating away. So from Chopper's point of view, it's actually a slight miscall. It's an over-rotation, but he makes up for it for this. Continues the spray, allows a couple of kills, and then because he stays alive from the back of the generators, Patsy could just rotate in so quickly and peek on the contact.
Like you say, only a few more rounds of Spirit to wrap this one up. 3 to the Vertigo victory. And the Hero AK coming out for Cloud9 as a result. Shiro passed off one by Nafani. I guess somebody set up to have some sort of impact here for his team. But there are so many things they've got to do, so many things they've got to deal with from the CT side.
Very similar signs to what we saw against Cloud9 and NIP in that third round of Swiss. We saw Cloud9 picking into Mirage, losing their map pick, still sending it to the third map, so perhaps some struggles on map picks from them.
Off the record against Tier 1 teams, anything to go by. Right now it does track. At least they finally got that pick on Patsy, and that's a rifle that can't quite get picked up. I think it was a little bit out of his range. Got a jiggle on Wonderful and force him out into the open. Okay, that's one good shot missed. Their way forward, Axile with the bomb on his back, playing a risky sort of game, and does actually fall to the hands of Shiro, so they force him out into the open for the 4-on-3 now for Cloud9. Backup is quickly on the back of the A site, and Chopper can deal with the first and the second. Almost line up a triple in that exchange. The UXP comes out for it, and the Quadra not quite found against Axile. Either way, he's in the clutch situation, a 1-on-2 for him. And Spirit know exactly where he's placed at. Now he's got info on both the CTs here. We'll swing, try and look for Chopper. As HE's the fastest coming in, that'll do some more damage.
That HE just dunk it down, and Axile's just trying to do his best to isolate these individuals. Magix is expecting a slight overpeak to come through for the elevators, but Axile still makes it winnable and can now run over to the B site and get the bomb down.
10 seconds, so it'll extend that timer a little bit. Chopper hot on his heels. Where does he come from? Axile gonna look out towards Scaff, not towards CT. Chopper. There's a couple of options. Could peek out wide, try to jump face, shoulder. Seen the adjustments right there for Axile. You talk about Chopper's performance at 24 frags. Axile's not quite up there. He's only on 15, but the impact he's had has kept Cloud9 in this game.
Yeah, he has, without a doubt. And you could just see some of the X-Factor potential in the rounds. You saw that one on the pistol, where he was able to get that 3K from Ali, and then this one here is the 1v2. Chopper doing as much as possible to keep the damage on, and for Spirit, they did a lot right. They baited him forward with the HE. Magix even had the idea that he was going to be aggressive towards elevators, but not to be. Cloud9 get a steal.
An important steal at that. Denying number 14 the Spirit, but Spirit want to get that back in this round. Magix finding Axile, blinded by Chopper's utility support. 5 on 4 as Cloud9 back away from the trade game.
Now, one thing that we know from Spirit on their city sides is just how strong they can be with the utility. The HE placement in Incendiary is always something to keep an eye out for. Opening damage going down towards the B stairs. The opening pick with 3 on B. Patsy trying to work around the smoke at ramp with Wonderful.
Shot rings out. Wait there. Nade sent right past the B side line. The AWP caught off. Manic spray from Nafani. He still gets it. Bringing it into a 4-on-4 and continuing the hit from Cloud9.
Yeah, Wonderful needed to take that shot and fall back instantly. Instead, he's still aggressive. Chopper spotting the run up now.
Can't get the kills on him though. Intus takes him down, and Patsy sat in the corner. Siren spray is awkward, but one man can still make all the difference as they line up for him. And Cloud9 can see the 2-man advantage with Magix on support. Shiro stands alone, desperate to get Patsy at least. The flashbangs gonna keep him back at bay. The shoulder bait's gonna force the AWPer out, and the Incendiary will drive him back. 14 points of health to win this clutch. Spirit have turned around an impossible scenario.
And now it's down to the clutch once again. And Shiro is so low on HP that I think he's just given up on this one. 20 seconds left on the clock. He's opting for the save. Spirit have turned this into a 14th. And it's showing us some scrappy affairs here from Cloud9. Some rounds that should not be lost are actually coming through. And that's a prime example of it. So much of an advantage of the way that they baited Wonderful forward. The idea that they had a 2-man advantage in a 4v2. But they're just not closing the rounds.
It was a 4-on-2. That's the key thing to take away from Cloud9. This play from Patsy was almost given up by Cloud9 themselves. And at last, that second tactical was called in. 14-8 makes it seem a little bit too late to me. Weapons seeming to get brought down here by the Cloud9 side, so it looks like they'll force their way back into this one. Try play against the overtime.
It's been sloppy coming through from Cloud9, and they know better. Even looking at that round, the idea that it's a 4v2 and you're executing with 40 seconds left on the clock, you got so much more time to slow that down, to work the util, to start establishing that crossfire from Ali towards the top of Crane. And instead, there's a few of these rounds where, in my eyes, it looks like they're trying to get it done too quickly. They're just trying to close the round down rather than waiting and having that discipline. A tactical timeout now going the other way. Because Spirit know, if we take this first map of Vertigo without even giving double digits, we're setting ourselves up. We're looking for a 2-0, and Legend stage is ours.
AK and Galil and Axan and Nafani, Hobbit and Enters yet to buy. Mac 10s and Tech 9s coming in for those players. Broken setup for Cloud9. Spirit must have some sort of read of that being the case here. Smoke set. Wonderful. His AWP is blinded. Taking a predictive shot and doesn't quite connect it, unfortunately, but not like it matters too much. That nade from Patsy will do half the job.
Just trying to see if they can keep the aggressive approaches towards the top of the ramp. You've got 3 CTs all establishing a crossfire. Now, Wonderful's going to take the first contact in which Patsy can swing out wide in the open.
Time's a ticking. At least they've got plenty of it right now for Cloud9. Spirit have thrived in these slow default styles on both halves of the map. Flashbang in from Wonderful proves the point. Nafani caught completely blinded, completely flat-footed. And that's the start for Spirit again.
And what an event this must be for someone like Wonderful. Less than 40 maps on LAN, played in Cologne, played at EPL, RMR debut, and now already at the major and 14-8 up in a CIS derby against Cloud9 on their map pick with a chance to make Legend Stage. I mean, that's just be an incredible story for the AWPer to know what this young man has been through at 17 years old to play at this sort of level. The Spirit just need to close it down, and Cloud9, it's back to the complete ramp control again.
It was definitely a trial by fire for Wonderful. IEM Cologne was his first event with Spirit. And I believe his first event at Tier 1, given how young he is.
That's correct.
Now here to make it to the major is already an achievement to be a legend at his first time out. He wants it bad, so he gets that shot on Shiro. 3 players left. Cloud9 have just over 10 seconds, and Patsy gets his own double. Wonderful. Trying to get that closer in against Inters. It will be Chopper to take him down and secure map point for Spirit.
And that's got to be the worst feeling in the world for Cloud9. You've just taken a tactical, you go, right, boys, you know, the speech just come out, how we're going to be able to respond, what our protocol is, how we're going to establish and take ramp control to end up on A. And they don't even find picks. They're not even getting the bomb down. That's a rollover round. Patsy up there from Yellow and Ali just doing so much significant damage. We saw him getting that opening pick up from the sandbags with a flash through from Wonderful. 15-8, looks to be 16-8. This has been a ruthless performance from Spirit, and I'm loving it.
Charge straight in against the force by Patsy's already found the first kill. Axile down and out. Maybe of this map as well as this round. Shiro next to fall to Magix. It's all falling apart for Cloud9 now.
Even the anti-rush nades going down to this alley position. Patsy lining up a smoke to try and keep them at bay. The HG placement fairly decent onto Hobbit, and now Chopper's thinking about getting aggressive.
Lining up with Patsy might provide some concerns, but they break it up and look around this ramp control. Barney seen Hobbit sitting in the midst of the smoke, detected by the sprays. To 3 HP he'll go. And from here, the outlook looks impossible for Cloud9. Hobbit found, enters, last man in the round. Crossfire locked against him. He has the bomb on his back at least, but no way into a bomb site and surely no way into this round.
Spirit putting on one hell of a show on this first map of Vertigo. And Cloud9 have been punished beyond belief. Inter's trying to do his best to draw some of these fights out to the open. There's a quick backstabbing player trying to get to the bottom of bridge, but nothing is being presented. And Magix should be able to seal the deal on the backstab. No, does get dropped for a moment.
All right. Something gained for Inter. Saw that second player of Siren as well, but unless they give him up every single 1v1 in the next 30 seconds, there should be no way for him. He will find the space to rotate. You have also got Chopper on the way in himself. I think Inters might get beaten to the B site, so the bomb plant won't come easy. It will be required if he wants to clutch at this one, though. See what he does here. Swings out. Chopper will start to hear these footsteps. The smoke will come down to indicate exactly where Inters is, so counter. Flashbang, I thought it was going to be incendiary, but no. Spray through the smoke for the headshot anyway for Chopper. 16-8 for Spirit. Absolutely dominant here on the first map. On Cloud9's map pick is the key thing, Dwayne.
They made it look easy. That was a very drilled Spirit of what we saw right there. Good cohesion, good teamwork, and overall just good pressure. Being able to discipline their way forward to a lot of success. And for Cloud9, it didn't even look competitive, didn't even look close. They got battered on that first map.
Even in the second half, which statistically could have been their better one, they only got 2 rounds. For Cloud9, have not woken up on the right side of the beds today. We'll head towards the break, see whether they can do so in the second map. It'll be Dust 2 after this.